So this is a patch of scrub, woodland even. Might choose a route through it on the way back. I'm going to go into this scrubland and through someone's garden. And trust me, I wouldn't be trespassing on someone's private property. I have met the homeowner on a couple of occasions and they're quite okay about it. There's not a massive footfall and take it as a matter of pride. Be polite, be considerate, stick to the footpath. It's never ever been a problem. Over 10 or 15 years I've seen this area of scrub on our right go from a fully cultivated field such as this to what it is now. And I do wonder what the reasons are. Maybe it's the size of the modern agricultural machinery makes it untenable. Maybe it's a government incentive scheme to set aside and to leave fallow. But hey, this is what happens to farmland when it's not farmed. Look at these blackberries. Oh my goodness me. I will be having to do some quality control there. Wow. Rose hips everywhere. How beautiful. Quite late for a white butterfly. I'll call it a cabbage white until I know better. Hedgerows are full of birds at the moment. And I suspect what they're doing is they're building up their body reserves for a winter when there won't be the abundance of readily available foodstuffs for them. That, I'm not sure. But it looks very pretty. And I think what we've got here is either a wild apple or a wild plum. Hasn't fruited this year. Boundary of the garden. All that left. Lots of dead wood cut and stacked. Brushwood mainly. Wonderful habitat for invertebrates. And a very old building that's been given a new coat of render and paint on the outside. Literally just to the left of the greenhouse, can you see? A tree laden down with fruit. Apple tree. And here we are. Look at this. And I think, if my memory serves me correctly, this is a Bramley apple tree. Beautiful, beautiful cooking apples. So, I'm going to keep the camera pointed away from the person whose house this footpath runs alongside. Certainly don't want to be rude or disrespectful. then we're going to join the walk, or rejoin the road. Elders in full flower, or full fruit. Totally unplanned and unregulated building developments along here. Happen chance rather than urban planning and housing density regulations and criteria, and all the nicer for it as well. This is a property I've been looking at over the years. Recently acquired. New owners have brought new life into it, refurbished it, done what they can. I suspect this house is quite a lot older. Now, the rectory. So often I have been tempted to go in and have a wander around. Those of you who don't know, the rectory is used to house Church of England priests, part of their remuneration package. Housing and accommodation were given freely, alongside a pittance of pay. When the church was a lot more influential and held a lot more sway in this country, wow, trees full of apples. Rights of inheritance were perhaps more rigidly followed. The eldest son would inherit the property, the land, the assets, and the second son was left out. Daughters would be married off, hopefully to people that were going to bring money and resources into the eldest son's inheritance. Beautiful yew tree on the corner of that house. And it wasn't unusual, for the second sons, having been educated, not going to be coming into any property, any land, any business. On the death of the scions, the parents, look at that for a beautiful piece of wall work. And the traditional route they'd follow would be into the ministry, into the Church of England. Housing provided, subsistence provided. I don't know how much that is the case now, but that's certainly what it was. Morning. Oh, here we are. So let's just stand to one side. Good morning. Perhaps that's one of the contractors I spoke about earlier. Looked like he had a tiller or a hoer on the back of the tractor on a Sunday. Goodness me, that's a right break with tradition. But still very much busy periods and slack periods on the farm. You work when the work's there. There's plenty of time to sit by the fire with your feet up and smoke your pipe in the winter when there's not work. Very, very nice development of rural properties. Quite new. Hey, people have got to live somewhere. Oh wow. They are plums. And they're out of reach. I'm not about to pick them up off of the floor. But if they were in reach, I would be sampling them. Another property that's going through the process of having been acquired and is being done up. On the left, the copse. I heard yesterday the difference between a copse and a wood. So a copse is planted and harvested for its hazel, sometimes ash, on a semi-regular basis to provide the wood for instance, the wattle, which is what the daub on the walls was put on. And a large farm would probably have a set-aside copse of an acre, but no smallholder wouldn't have access to the woods in the copse. And then we got plastic and we got metal, and copses slowly became redundant. But the copses themselves, the straight, upright, whippy, strong, new growth, every few years would be cut right back down to the ground and left. And they would re-sprout, come back up again. A renewable resource. So that is a sign of how dry this summer has been. Quite unusual to see that small pond dry.